Let me first state that I think you did a very good job on your video. And no, your videos do not suck. But you probably will get better at making videos, I guess, as you go along. I don't know. I don't think it's like anything like with a lot of takes to it. You just kind of get better, but I don't think it really is a big thing. I hear you say that you don't have faith in shit, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, there's a quote that says, "True wisdom is knowing that you know nothing." So by how it seems, you're quite wise, and it's true. I mean, we really don't know anything 100%. I mean, think about what people thought hundreds of years ago about the world being flat and how people were so in tribal places people would give up, sacrifice their own human beings to some invisible person. And I mean, now what was once Roman mythology is now just mythology, and everyone was convinced about the Roman or Greek gods, and now it's just mythology. So it shows how much people really think they know, but they really don't. And I don't think there's anything wrong with not having belief. You have to realize that people aren't really getting spiritualness out of religion like you really think. I mean, people are brainwashed into religion from a young age. I mean, practically from birth. And it's really that it gets stuck in their head, and they are so fearful of the devil and of not going to heaven, and it's so stuck in their head that they almost just do religion just to kind of not go to hell. But I don't think many people really get anything out of it. It's like they kind of just do it because they're afraid and because they're brainwashed into it. But I mean, most people aren't getting like any spiritual journey out of it. And I think that it's ironic that you said that people are afraid to learn other things, to expand their horizons of their spirituality. And I think it's, as I said, they're brainwashed and fearful. And it's ironic that people are religious generally because they are in fear, and then they fear things outside of that. So I mean, it's really like fear plus fear, which is quite funny. And I mean, I think you're giving religion quite the praise that I don't know if it deserves. I mean, a lot of people don't know what they're believing in, and they just kind of believe it to believe it, or do what the other animals around them do. And I mean, a perfect example is there's slavery in the Old Testament. And I mean, all the religions basically preach slavery. And Islam is the worst at that. I mean, Islam, Muhammad had slaves, and Muhammad in the religion preaches that you should kill those and create war parties against other people who are not Muslim, and then you're free to take slaves in the action. I mean, which is just ridiculous. And people don't really understand sometimes what they're actually believing in, and they just kind of believe to believe, and they don't really get anything out of it. And I think you're right, like, when you explore your spiritual options, you're really, in fact, getting things out of it. You're not just doing it to do it. And as I said, for most people, I think church is just a chore, and they don't really enjoy it. And I mean, churches of the Christian faith is really fear. And I think that since I've been an atheist, I think I'm actually far happier. I mean, it's fear. I mean, it's like Jesus died on the cross. We are sinners at birth. We must pray because we are sinners, bad people. And I think it's very negative. I don't see it. I don't see where the positives really come in. And I mean, I used to get nightmares of Jesus on the cross when I was young and believed in that stupid shit. And I don't really think there's a positive as much as you are like to think. I think that there's so much fear behind it, and I don't think anyone that's fearful is really healthy, as you are stated. And worldwide, it shows that people who are religious, in fact, live a shorter life, have more STDs, teen pregnancies, violence, crime, murders, rape. And a perfect example is of the world is that the Scandinavian, like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, as well as Asian countries, are the least religious countries in the world, and they also have the longest life expectancies and lowest crime rates. Whereas places like the Middle East and Africa and Latin America generally have the highest amount of religiousness, and as well as much shorter life expectancies and higher crime rates. And I don't know. I mean, as I said, I think people who are generally so fearful that they go to religion might not be as healthy as you think, and that when it comes to religion, it's just, and people don't even understand, like, Christianity is basically a fraud. I mean, the brother of Jesus, James the Just, actually said that Jesus was not the Son of God, but he was a noble prophet. And should I believe the brother of Jesus, or a bunch of people, a billion people now who just think they know what they're talking about? I mean, I think that the brother of Jesus knows a lot more than anyone else. And, I mean, right there, that pretty much puts Christianity at fraud. And, I think that, obviously, by how you talk about reincarnation, it seems that you may have gotten into some of the Eastern philosophies, and I find them much more peaceful and open. And I think that you could be just as spiritual, probably more spiritual than most Christians, because you've explored your options and, in fact, be happier. And I don't think that faith actually does anything as much as you'd like to think. Now, I will mention about the dog thing. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think everyone should have a fear of not just any dog, not just pit bulls, but any loose dog that could possibly bite them. And I think I understand everyone's. I mean, I don't blame people for having less of a fear of a golden retriever than a pit bull. I mean, I've had loose pit bulls in my neighborhood, and they start barking and growling, and you're damn sure I'm aware of them. And, I mean, a lot of people who get pit bulls treat them bad anyway. I mean, I remember my neighbor had a pit bull trained to kill, and when the pit bull do bad, they would take the pit bull and they would grab it by the choke collar and actually raise the pit bull all the way up to the roof, like choking it. And I think that people who get pit bulls generally, not everyone, because there's some people that are very good people who get pit bulls, but a lot of the general population are really fucked up people who get pit bulls to begin with. So it makes the dogs quite bad. And I think that has a lot to do with it. But I mean, if I see a pit bull loose, yeah, I'm damn well going to be quite aware of it. I'm going to be what you might call prejudiced, and I think everyone should be a little wary of that, in particular if they're not on a leash. And you mentioned the kids. I mean, I think kids in general might be afraid of dogs, and you very well could have been golden retriever, and they could be been afraid of it. But you're right about the clipped ears, and I mean, it's just sick that people would have the dog fights to begin with. But I remember someone said that people that do that not the dog should be put to sleep, but the owner should be put to sleep. I thought that was a pretty awesome comment. But anyways, I'm going to end this video there.